The stadium breathes like a living creature under floodlights that burn white into the night sky. Every seat is filled with expectation, and every heartbeat feels shared across nations. France stands on one side with the weight of champions in their bones. England stands on the other, with history pressing down like a storm that refuses to pass. This is not just a match. This is a collision of identity. This is pride sharpened into something dangerous. This is France versus England in a FIFA World Cup quarter-final, where nothing will remain ordinary after the first whistle. The players walk out slowly as if each step carries the memory of centuries. The crowd rises as one endless wave of sound that rolls through the stadium like thunder that has learned how to sing. The anthem begins and the air changes texture. It becomes heavier, more sacred, more fragile. England stands tall with belief carved into their faces. France stands calm with silence that feels like confidence, disguised as stillness. Two teams separated by history, but bound together in this moment of truth. The whistle has not yet come, but the tension already feels like impact waiting to happen. And then it begins. The first touch belongs to France. Aurélien Tchouameni steps forward with control and purpose, as if the ball already belongs to him. The French shape moves like a machine built for precision and patience. Antoine Griezmann drifts between spaces like a shadow that knows exactly where light will fall. England responds. Immediately, Declan Rice closes space with relentless energy. Jordan Henderson commands the midfield, like a voice that refuses to be ignored. Bukayo Saka accelerates into the wide channel like a spark, trying to become fire. Every pass feels like a test of courage. Every duel feels like a statement of intent. Kylian Mbappé waits on the edge of vision. He does not chase the game. He waits for the game to forget itself for a single second. That is all he needs. France begins to stretch the pitch. Ousmane. Dembele touches the ball and everything shifts. His movement bends English structure for a moment. A gap opens like a breath held too long. The cross comes early. It cuts through the air with sharp intention. England reacts just in time, and the danger dissolves into clearance. But the warning has been spoken. England answers with speed. Harry Kane drops deep to connect play. He turns under pressure and releases the ball like a strategist, building a future from chaos. Marcus Rashford bursts forward with direct intent. The stadium rises every time England crosses halfway. Hope travels with them like a second ball. France defends with discipline. Raphael Varane reads the game like memory itself. Ibrahima Konate steps into challenges with controlled force. Hugo Lloris stands like a final wall that does not blink. Time moves differently now. Every second feels stretched. A long pass from France changes everything. Mbappé accelerates. The entire stadium recognizes danger before the ball even reaches him. He runs like the concept of speed made human. Kyle Walker matches him, stride for stride. Two forces locked in a silent duel across grass and history. The ball is cut out at the last moment. A collective breath escapes the stadium. England counter. Quickly, Saka drives forward. He slips past one challenge, then another. He enters the box. The shot comes. Blocked, deflected, cleared. Still no goal, but the match has found its rhythm. It is no longer cautious. It is alive. France strikes first with intention. Rather than chaos, Griezmann receives in space. He turns without hesitation. A pass is threaded into the channel. Tchouameni arrives like a storm-breaking formation. He strikes the ball with pure conviction. The shot travels like a verdict. It hits the net. France leads. The stadium erupts in blue and white motion. The French players run toward each other as if pulled by gravity. England stands still for a moment, trying to understand the shape of the blow-one goal. Changes everything. England now carries urgency in every movement. They push higher. They press harder. They refuse to disappear into the narrative. Harry Kane begins to fight for every ball, as if each touch is a negotiation with fate. Phil Foden drifts into pockets of space, searching for invention. The French defense tightens like a closing door. A cross comes into the box. A header rises. Hugo Lloris reacts with instinct older than thought itself. He saves. The stadium cannot believe it. England grows louder in response. The pressure increases. Like rising water, a foul is given, a moment of stillness arrives. Harry Kane stands over the ball. The world narrows into silence. His teammates wait. The French wall holds its breath. The strike comes. The keeper dives, it is saved. Again. France survives. The emotional weight shifts again, but not decisively. This match refuses to belong to one side for long. Halftime arrives like a pause between storms. France leads by 1. England walks off with frustration burning behind their eyes. The second half begins. Differently, England no longer waits. They attack immediately. Declan Rice drives forward. His passes become sharper. His presence becomes louder. The English structure rises higher on the pitch. France absorbs pressure with experience. Griezmann drops. Deeper, Mbappe waits for transition moments. Dembele searches for one open lane. And then it comes. French counter-attack, built from a single mistake. The ball breaks forward. Mbappe accelerates. Walker chases again. The stadium holds its breath. The shot comes, it misses by inches. That moment changes everything. England realizes how thin the margin truly is. They push harder. Corner after corner arrives. Cross after cross follows. The French penalty area becomes a battlefield of rising tension. A header from Harry Maguire rises above everyone. It should be a goal. It is saved. Hugo Lloris becomes impossible. Every dive feels like destiny rewritten in real time. England refuses to stop Bukayo. Saka cuts inside. He draws contact, he falls. The referee points to the spot penalty to England. The stadium fractures into sound. Harry Kane walks forward. Captain of belief, bearer of expectation, carrier of an entire nation's hope. He places the ball. He steps back. The world becomes still. The run-up begins. The strike is clean. The net moves. England equalizes. The stadium erupts into chaos. White shirts collide in celebration. The balance has been restored, but only temporarily. France responds immediately with intensity. Mbappe now moves with sharper urgency. He receives the ball and glides past defenders like they are fragments of space rather than obstacles. A shot comes from distance, it forces a save. The match is now fully open. No control remains, only survival and ambition. Midfield becomes a war zone. Every tackle echoes louder than the last. Every interception feels like survival rather than strategy. Time begins to feel unstable. Minutes stretch, seconds collapse. A French corner arrives. The ball rises into the air. It drops dangerously. And Olivier Giroud appears, rises above everyone. The header is unstoppable. France leads again. The stadium explodes in French celebration. England stands frozen again, but only briefly, because this match refuses stillness. England pushes forward once more. Substitutions inject fresh energy. Marcus Rashford drives into space. Phil Foden finds angles that did not exist. Moments earlier, a cross comes in, a touch, a scramble, a deflection. The ball falls to Harry Kane again. The strike comes. It is blocked on the line. England cannot believe it. France clears under pressure. The emotional weight of the match grows unbearable. Then comes chaos. A long ball, a defensive error. A loose touch. Marcus Rashford breaks through. He is alone. The stadium rises in disbelief. He shoots. It flies over the moment. Vanishes. England collapses to the ground in disbelief. France exhales into relief. The match now feels like it is being played inside a pressure chamber. Every decision matters more than logic can explain. Extra time arrives like a final test of endurance. Bodies are tired. Minds are sharpened by exhaustion. Every movement is heavier. France begins with controlled possession. England presses with desperate energy. Mbappe waits again on the edge of history. He receives the ball. He turns. He runs. Walker matches him. Again, they collide in motion across the field like two stories refusing to yield. The shot comes from Mbappe. It is saved. Again, the moment refuses to end. England counter Rashford accelerates. He passes into space. The chance opens. The shot comes. It misses. Fatigue now defines everything. Every sprint feels like a final act of will. Then the decisive moment arrives. A loose ball in midfield. A clash of bodies. A sudden break. Mbappe receives it. For a second, the stadium recognizes destiny. He drives forward. He has space. He has time. The shot comes. It is blocked. England survives again. The match refuses closure. The final minutes arrive like a collapsing sky. Every player is exhausted beyond form. Every movement is survival rather than sport. A final England attack builds. The ball is crossed. It drops into chaos. Harry Kane rises. The header comes. It goes wide. The stadium collapses into disbelief. The whistle is coming closer with every second. France clears the ball one final time. England tries one last attack. The ball is launched forward. It is intercepted. The referee looks at the clock, and then it happens. The whistle blows. France stands victorious. England falls into silence that feels heavier than defeat alone. The stadium splits into two emotional worlds. One side of joy. One side of heartbreak. France advances after a battle that felt like history being written in real time. England exits with effort that will be remembered. Even in defeat, Mbappe stands breathing heavily under lights that now feel softer than before Kane stands still as if trying to understand where the final second disappeared. This was not just a match. It was pressure turned into poetry. It was hope turned into collision. It was football at its most brutal and most beautiful. And as the stadium slowly empties, the echoes remain. A reminder that some games do not end when the whistle blows. They live on in memory, like storms that never fully fade.